Gemini, claim what is yours. The energy of wealth is coming to you. Gemini, what if the very thoughts racing through your mind were not distractions, but the first signs of a destiny that's finally ready to arrive? You feel it, don't you? That strange electric hum in the air, like something unseen is trying to speak to you. 4 days now, perhaps weeks, you've been waking up with ideas that don't seem to come from you, or running into coincidences that feel too sharp to be chance. These aren't just thoughts, Gemini. They're transmissions. This is not just another week in your life. It's a cosmic message sent through the frequencies of Mercury, your ruling planet. And it carries one clear instruction. Claim what is yours. You are entering a corridor of wealth, not just material abundance, but a reclamation of your self-worth, your voice, and your divine inheritance. The path forward won't look like anything you've known. Because Gemini, you were never meant to walk a straight line. You were meant to navigate the winding, glittering maze of possibility and find gold where others see confusion. I'm Elizabeth, your guide here at Esoteric Wisdom, where we explore the deeper meanings beneath your astrology. If this message is already sparking something inside you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your soul is ready. Shall we begin? Chapter 1. The Whispering Frequencies of Mercury. For Gemini, silence is never truly silent. Even in stillness, your mind moves, an antenna tuned to frequencies others can't hear. And lately, those frequencies have grown louder, more urgent, more persistent. There's a reason for that. Mercury, your planetary ruler, is currently activating parts of your chart that govern self-worth, financial alignment, and soul-level communication. It's as though the universe is turning the volume up on the messages you've ignored for too long. These aren't just random thoughts, they're divine nudges. And the more you listen, the more you'll realize, this isn't noise. This is your new direction. Take Eleanor, a retired teacher from Oregon. She'd always second-guessed her artistic side. Painting was a side hobby, nothing more. But a few months ago, she kept waking up with dreams of vivid images, sunsets, symbols, faces. When she finally listened and posted her art online, a collector reached out within a week. What started as a whisper became a source of abundance and joy. Gemini, the whispers in your life are asking for the same trust. But here's the truth most won't tell you. Abundance isn't found by chasing harder. Not for you. You thrive when you connect, when you share, when you speak from the ever-curious, ever-questioning heart. Your wealth is tied not to output, but to alignment. Right now, you are being asked to examine where you've betrayed your own value in favor of external validation. Where have you silenced your ideas because they seem too much, too fast, or too scattered? Gemini, those ideas are the currency of your future. Mercury rules not only thought but exchange of words, energy, resources. When you suppress your voice, you block the very channel that abundance wants to flow through. This chapter of your life requires a radical realignment, not just of your finances, but of your beliefs about what you're allowed to receive. Because here's a cosmic truth few understand. You receive in direct proportion to how much of your true self you allow to be visible. The next 33 days, yes, this specific window, brings increased energetic receptivity. What does that mean for you? 3 things. Ideas that won't leave you alone? They're not distractions. Write them down. Sudden conversations about money, resources, new ventures? Don't dismiss them. An inner urge to change how you present yourself to the world? That's your energy recalibrating in real time. Even your relationships are being activated under this Mercury influence. People will either support this new frequency or fall away. Both are signs of alignment. And remember, your duality is your superpower. You're not meant to be linear. You are the living paradox, both seeker and speaker, dreamer and doer. So when others doubt, when they misunderstand your shifts, let that be the proof. You are on the verge of something sacred, something big, something long overdue. Let this be the chapter where you stop shrinking your vision to fit someone else's comprehension. You are not here to be understood by all. You are here to transmit something new into the world. Your mind is the key. Your voice is the bridge. And your curiosity? That's the magnet. It's not just your time, Gemini. It's your frequency that's finally come into tune. Chapter 2. The Mirror of Dual Desires. Gemini, within you live two distinct voices, two sides of the same soul. One seeks freedom, the other seeks fulfillment. And for most of your life, you've believed you must choose. But what if the truth is this? You were never meant to choose. You were meant to integrate. This is the crossroads you now stand at, not just financially, but spiritually. The energy of wealth that is approaching isn't asking you to give up your curious, scattered, multifaceted nature. It's asking you to bring all of it to the table, because your prosperity will not come from a single path, but from embracing the full spectrum of who you are. This is why Mercury is not just the messenger, but the trickster. It challenges rigid thinking. It disrupts the illusion that success must follow a straight line. And it blesses those who dare to dance between opposites with connection, opportunity, and breakthrough. Take the example of Malcolm, a 45-year-old Uber driver from Philadelphia. By day, he listened to business podcasts. By night, he wrote short sci-fi stories. It seemed unrelated, until one night a tech investor got in his car, asked what he was listening to, and ended up reading his stories. That chance ride turned into a job offer at a gaming company, just because Malcolm refused to see his passions as contradictions. Gemini, your contradictions are the clues. You don't need to strip yourself down to one version of success. You need to allow space for your complexity. The woman who loves data and tarot. The man who teaches yoga but obsesses over market trends. The retiree who runs a knitting club and day trades crypto. These are not paradoxes. These are Mercury's masterpieces. This is the key to unlocking the next phase of abundance, letting your multiple passions form a constellation rather than a competition. Each star you honor within yourself lights up a new pathway. And these pathways don't lead to confusion, they lead to convergence. Right now, the cosmos is asking you one thing. Where have you been dimming one half of yourself to protect the comfort of the other? You may feel called to reimagine your identity, to reintroduce yourself to yourself, not with a new mask, but with deeper honesty. And as you do, you may find that the financial opportunities you're seeking aren't coming from the logical, planned route, but through unexpected, even strange, synchronicities. The stranger you meet in line at the bookstore, the comment someone leaves on your obscure blog post, the random invitation to speak or share or teach that seems to come out of nowhere. These are not accidents. These are echoes of your soul calling back to you through the outer world. And here's the magic. When both sides of you are given room to breathe, your inner artist and your inner analyst, your seeker and your speaker, your energy field becomes magnetic. That's not just poetic. That's vibrational physics. Wholeness emits a stronger frequency than fragmentation. Gemini, this is the chapter where you begin to unify your voice. Let the child within you speak. Let the teacher within you teach. Let the dreamer and the planner hold hands and walk together toward the future you've been postponing, waiting for someone to give you permission. You don't need permission. You need alignment. And alignment for you doesn't mean picking one thing. It means embracing all the things that whisper truth into your bones. You are not too much, Gemini. You are finally just enough. Chapter 3. The Portal of Unexpected Prosperity. Gemini, what if your abundance was never going to come through the front door? What if the very moment you stopped looking for it in the obvious places was the moment the universe finally had room to surprise you? You are now entering what I call a mercurial portal, a phase of rapid, almost chaotic-seeming alignment where opportunities don't follow logic, but intuition. During this window, your role is not to plan every step, but to notice patterns, follow signs, and allow detours. Because your next breakthrough will likely arrive disguised as a question, a strange encounter, or even a loss that makes space for something better. And make no mistake, prosperity is coming, but only if you can dance with the unexpected. Let me tell you about Janice, a 52-year-old Gemini from North Carolina. She had worked in HR for over 2 decades. Secure, predictable, but not alive. One day, she impulsively posted a short video reviewing a book that changed her life. That video got shared, then invited, then paid. Within months, Janice was hosting a podcast on personal growth and tripled her income.
Why?
Because she followed a flicker instead of a formula. That's the Gemini way. Your mind is wired to make connections where others see chaos. You are the translator between realms, between logic and inspiration, science and soul. And right now, Mercury is urging you to lean into this gift. The old map won't guide you forward, but your internal compass? It's whispering louder than ever. Here's how you'll know the portal has opened for you. You'll have repeating thoughts about a forgotten project or skill. A new person will appear who speaks directly to an inner truth you've been afraid to name. You'll notice a string of coincidences about money, timing, or collaboration that feel surreal. Don't dismiss them. Don't overanalyze them.
Just move with them.
Abundance for Gemini doesn't trickle in. It sparks, leaps, erupts, especially when you follow flow instead of control. Your gift is not in mastering a single method. It's in your responsiveness, your curiosity, your willingness to pivot with grace. So ask yourself, where am I still gripping a plan that no longer fits the person I've become? Where have I been praying for change, but refusing to open the windows? If you want the energy of wealth to find you, Gemini, you have to be where your soul actually lives, not where your fear pretends you should be. This is the time to pitch the idea, to send the email, to make the video, write the post, follow the nudge, to reach out even if you don't feel ready. Because Mercury doesn't wait for you to be ready. Mercury moves. And when you move with it, things happen fast. This is not a time for perfectionism. It's a time for experiments. For Gemini, success often comes after a series of beautiful mistakes that somehow lead you exactly where you needed to be. So, what if you let go of being strategic for a moment? What if, instead, you became deeply responsive? What if the detour wasn't a delay, but a divine appointment? Gemini, the next 33 days will bring unexpected doors. Some may appear ordinary. Some may even look like setbacks. But if you trust your instincts, if you stay in motion, stay curious, stay connected to the part of you that refuses to settle, you will walk straight into a life you didn't know how to ask for. That's the Mercury way. That's the Gemini path. That's your moment to claim. Chapter 4. The courage to receive without apology. Gemini, how many times have you talked yourself out of what you truly desire? How often have you dimmed your dreams because someone told you they were too much? Or you believed you had to be more realistic, more focused, more like everyone else? Here's the cosmic truth Mercury wants you to finally hear. You don't need to be anyone else to receive what is already meant for you. Gemini, it's not about deserving more. It's about allowing it. For years, you've been praised for your adaptability, your charm, your mind. But beneath that social brilliance lies a quieter pattern, self-editing, shrinking, overthinking your worth. That ends now, because the wealth coming your way is not a reward for playing small. It is a natural result of reclaiming your full vibrational signature, the one you were born with, before the world taught you to split it into pieces. Let me tell you about Ronald, a 60-year-old Gemini living in the Midwest. For decades, he believed his gift for speaking and storytelling was just a side talent. He worked in finance, did what was expected, but something inside always ached. After retiring, he finally began posting short personal stories on a blog. Within a year, a publishing deal found him.
Why?
Because he stopped apologizing for his voice. That's your lesson, too. You don't need permission to be whole. You need courage to stay present with yourself, especially when what you want starts to arrive. And make no mistake, it is arriving. But receiving requires vulnerability. And for Gemini, whose nature is to think, explain, rationalize, vulnerability can feel like losing control. This is the portal you must walk through. To receive without guilt. To expand without explanation. To shine without disclaimers. The universe is not asking you to prove yourself. It's asking you to remember yourself. There is no need to earn your abundance. There is only a need to stop blocking it with outdated beliefs. I should be more consistent first. I don't want to seem greedy. I don't have enough credentials yet. Gemini, those thoughts are not caution. They're fear dressed up in logic. Let them go. This is the moment to look in the mirror and speak out loud. I am ready to receive without shrinking, without shame, without delay. This energy isn't just about material prosperity. It's about restoring your inner circuitry. When you give yourself full permission to receive praise, attention, resources, joy, you create a feedback loop with the universe. You say, I trust you. I trust myself. I'm open. And the universe responds accordingly. Here's a soul challenge for the coming week. Each time someone offers you something, help, a compliment, a new opportunity, practice saying yes without diminishing yourself. Don't say it's nothing. Say, thank you. Don't say, are you sure? Say, I receive that. Because every time you soften into receiving, you teach your nervous system and your spirit that you are safe in expansion. This is emotional alchemy, Gemini, and it's essential for your next level. So let go of that old, fractured identity, the one that kept your heart half open and your voice half heard. Let yourself be seen. Let yourself be supported. Let the river of abundance rise and carry you farther than logic ever could. You don't need to justify your joy. You need to embody it. And when you do, something magical happens. You become a mirror for others, a living example of what it means to receive with grace, with clarity, and with celebration. This is the Gemini gift at its highest, to show others that duality is not confusion, it is wholeness in motion. Chapter 5. The integration of power and purpose. Gemini, you've danced through the realms of thought, emotion, and inspiration. Now the question is no longer what if. It's are you ready? This final chapter isn't about adding anything new. It's about integrating what you already are, so deeply, so unapologetically, that the world cannot help but respond. Because the energy of wealth coming to you now is not random. It's not luck. It's recognition. The universe is responding to the frequency you've been tuning your soul toward, even on the days you felt invisible. Every idea you dared to entertain, every conversation where you chose honesty over performance, every moment you followed curiosity instead of fear, those were not wasted. They were seeds. And now it's harvest season. But here's the twist. The final gift Mercury offers Gemini is an information. It's embodiment. You don't need another podcast, another course, another plan.
You need to act, to speak,
to share what's already alive inside you. You are no longer the student of your own gifts. You are the messenger. This is your moment to align your inner power with outer action. It may feel uncomfortable at first, like wearing clothes tailored for a future version of you. But that's how growth works. Expansion always feels too big before it becomes natural. So, I ask you, Gemini, what truth have you been carrying that needs to be spoken? What offering is ready to be shared? What dream has lingered long enough in the waiting room of someday? The next phase of your prosperity depends not on external events, but on your internal commitment to show up. That's the integration. And in this process, you will become a magnet, not because you're trying, but because you've finally stopped resisting your fullness. Let me leave you with the story of Claire, a Gemini in her late 60s. After her husband passed, she felt untethered, like she'd lost her reason to keep expressing herself. Then one day, while sorting through old journals, she found pages of poems she'd written decades earlier. She started reading them aloud in an online group. The response was overwhelming. Her words healed others. But more than that, they healed her. Not because she tried to be someone new, but because she returned to herself. Gemini, you don't need to become someone else to be abundant. You need to stop postponing the version of you that's already whole. As Mercury completes this current cycle, it offers you a mirror, not of who you've been, but of who you're finally ready to become. The one who speaks with clarity. The one who moves with purpose. The one who receives without shame. The one who shines, not to impress, but to illuminate. This is your inheritance. This is your alignment. This is your frequency of wealth. It's not just about money. It's about value. Your value. So write the post. Start the project. Claim the conversation. Ask for what you deserve. Let your light speak. Let your gifts breathe. Let your whole self, both sides, step forward, hand in hand, into this moment of undeniable alignment. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where the universe needs you to be. And now, Gemini, it's time to speak your wealth into reality.